today, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got this Huracan, what is it, a Huracan?
Yeah, Lamborghini Huracan, 610 4-wheel drive.
610 4-wheel drive. Obviously you would have seen from the intro, it looks absolutely amazing in white. Bit of backdrop with a suspension bridge in Bristol. So I'm here with Stu. We met a few weeks ago at one of your events, RPM.
That's right.
So if you don't mind telling the viewers, what is RPM?
It's just a little meet that we put together in Weston-super-Mare for predominantly local people, really, just because some of the other car meets that were in Bristol were getting a bit difficult to get to, and because of the lockdown things were getting more difficult, and some of these meets were sort of specialising on supercars entirely, which is something that I didn't want to do because I'm a bit of a car fanatic. So I've got a Mini as well as a Lamborghini, an old classic Mini, and I like the old Fords and the RS Fords. So we tried to do a bit of a meet in Weston where we encourage people with sort of some of the older type vehicles to come along, some of the stuff that's, you know, sort of collectible now, so your RS Cosworths and such like. So yeah, it's gone quite well with about 100 cars on the last meet. So, and that's about where we want to be. We don't want to be
too big.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want to try and get over to the viewers today is, I know how long it's taken me to get to my stage, and I'm not successful by any means. But you know, we were parked up for what, an hour, and the amount of people that stopped and got in the car and things like that, and it's kind of the motivational side of it. So I want to kind of get across to the viewers today, like, where have you come from to this point? Like, you know, I know you used to be a policeman, so I was scared to get him on the channel, to be honest.
But, we got to hold it against us, but it's just a thing to get over the bridge. I've always been really involved in cars, so cars have always been a bit of a passion.
Okay.
So from a very young age, I didn't spend my money on drinking or going out and stuff like that. It was always spent on cars. So I suppose as I've got older, I've been able to afford better cars, and I got a nice bank manager as well, so he helped me along the way, which is good. I think I've just sort of focused on cars rather than focusing on anything sort of maybe negative or anything I could have spent my money on. That I wouldn't have got back. You know, going out drinking, smoking, and that. And each to their own. You know, I like a good party like the rest of us, but it's just never really interested me, that sort of pastime. So I suppose I've spent just as much on cars that other people spend on cigarettes or alcohol. So so that's why I've sort of invested in cars. But as I've gone through my working life, I've become, as you get older, you know, you're able to afford something a little bit nicer, a little bit better. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would ever own a car like this. And it's been a long time, you know, a long time in the making, but I didn't want one when I was, you know, too old to enjoy it.
So we spoke off camera about having a main job and a regular income. I just want to delve a bit deeper with that, because I know that's kind of the model I've used for my life, to do things that I want to do. I've kind of just worked my ass off and invested my money in other things, other businesses. So I kind of want to get from your perspective, how have you used the police and your income to get to the stage you're at today? Because you also own sick cars.
So at the moment, sick cars is sort of a bit of a dream coming true. I'm just at the moment sort of trying to make it more of a business. It's not really it's not a business as such. It's an idea that's now growing in a way that I can sort of enjoy my hobby, which is cars, and be able to be involved in, you know, purchasing, selling, and that side of the car business, as you like, as a bit of a pastime, but also a bit of an earning. So but I think having a regular income is something that is important, because I think you need to. I think if you're dipping in and out of work, you know, some of the self-employed people find it difficult, like this lockdown. You know, you have a lot of money, then you have no money, and you know, it's really difficult. Whereas if you have a vocation that I was in, luckily I had a regular income, month in, month out for a long period of time. And I think that does get you on an even keel. You know, you live to your means. So I think it's quite. I personally think that's a good way forward. But then
Yes. It feels comfortable. It doesn't feel
no, it's not
too
hard.
much. Yes, it's a nice ride.
You can change the settings. You've got Strada, and then you've got Sport, which changes things on. You've got Corsa, which turns everything off and gives it a lot.
That sounded nice.
It does sound completely different
This
without.
engine up the back, it's on. It just adds to the spectacle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I said in the intro, this one's not going to be a mad one like the A45 I had on, but it's kind of a motivational one, because I think, you know, even though my channel is called Sleepers Car Club and everyone knows what sleepers are, it's just a car disguised with amazing power. You know, if we could all go and buy a supercar, we would, and the whole reason why we don't is because we're not at that stage where we can afford it. But it's nice to actually get somebody with this type of car on, with the same type of background, you know, and same struggle, just so we can see, you know, the possibilities where we can end up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, life's about choices at the end of the day. You just got to make the right choices. I lived on a council estate until I was 8 or 9 years old, and moved with my mum and dad and progressed with them, and my mum always had a real you know, hard, fast work ethic.
Yeah.
And it's definitely rubbed off on me, without a doubt. You don't get anything by sitting down doing nothing.
100%.
So you've got to get out there and do it, and I've had a multitude of jobs.
And I think a lot of people, they expect things to just fall into their lap and things to just happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I think anybody that knows me personally, you know how hard I work. Stewie! As I was saying, yeah, you know how hard I work. I'm, you know, 24/7 working all the time when I haven't got my kids. And that's just the work ethic I've had from my mum growing up with 4 jobs, looking after 3 kids, you know. And I think to get anywhere in life, it's not just going to happen. You know, success can be possible for anyone as long as you work hard.
Yeah.
And I think you're a great testament to that. Thank you so much for coming on the channel, man.
You're welcome. No, thank you very much. A lot of people would think, oh, you know, you can spend money on other things and stuff, but at the end of the day, you know what? Even if you live a long life, it's a short life.
Yeah.
You know, if you live to your 80s, 90s, you know, I'm 50. You know, how many more years I'm going to be wanting to drive around meeting up with you, having filming done in a Lamborghini in Clifton on a Saturday morning? You know,
it's just the life.
Yeah, and I'll be at home with my slippers on, reading the newspaper in a few years' time. So, you know, you got to enjoy it while you can, and I think that's another important thing, is to try and get to where you want to get. You know, so that you can do nice things and have nice holidays and have nice cars and stuff. You know?
Most definitely. Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot more content. I know Stu's holding a car event. Well, you know what? You can plug it now.
Oh, the 30th of August. Yeah, it's funny enough, we've got a few issues with that, because there's another quite large car meet that was in Weston a few weeks ago that's put the dampers on our car meet, because they had like 3,000 people turn up and caused a load of mayhem on a Saturday night. So unfortunately the police contacted the venue that we're going to be using, and sort of implied that we were the same people, which we're not, because we're a Sunday morning at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So at the moment it's a little bit up in the air, but it's going to be on the 30th of August. If it's not going to be at Junction 24 because of what the police have got involved in, then it will be somewhere else. Although I did have an apology from the duty inspector last night about the fact that they'd put the kibosh on my car meet by telling the venue that we were going to commit antisocial behaviour and wheel spinning and donuts, which is completely not us.
Yeah.
So, but thank you. Yeah, 30th of August. It'll be in and around Weston or Bristol, or maybe Bridgewater, Taunton at the furthest.
Yeah. So
we're going to try and do some. We've got a couple of local businesses that have sponsored it £50. It's not a lot of money, but it's just a bit of fun. We're going to try and get a couple of people to come and sort of judge them, and we're going to have an RS Ford section, new and old, a Mini section, because I like minis.
I love minis.
I've got a GT3 which I've just bought, which is amazing.
Which is coming on the channel soon.
Yeah, we need to do that. That is awesome little car, 300 brake horsepower. And I like supercars, so the 3 sections at the moment is Ford, Mini and supercars.
Okay.
And that's about it. And hopefully we give out £50. It's not a lot of money, but it's just a little award and maybe a little trophy to the best car on the day in those 3 categories.
So what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to chuck a 50 quid in. I'm going to sponsor the event as well.
Thank you very much.
So I'm going to be down there videoing. If anyone wants to get a car review,
Don't slow down now.
if anybody wants to come and get a car review, shout me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. I'll come to your video. I'm just trying to show all types of cars, not just sleepers, but you know, I'm a car enthusiast like Stu. I love cars, I love filming cars, I love driving cars. Yeah, so hit me up, man. What is the brake on this?
610. A lot of power.
It's a lot of power, man.
And the 4-wheel drive is good, so that's helpful. And do you know what I like as well is that it causes conversations.
Yes.
You know, like this morning we met some really nice people that wanted to chat about the car, and you know, and even ask questions like yourself about, you know, how have you got the car, where, you know, why have you got this sort of car, and it's really nice to, you know, to be a car fan, to have a nice car, and to let people know, you know, it's definitely achievable. If you put your mind to it, it's definitely achievable.
Most definitely.
You know, and you know, I've had to borrow money over the years and buy this, buy that, and I think you just got to remember that if you can afford to finance what you want to have, and you're sensible, then there's no problem with that, because otherwise none of us would have houses, because, you know, most people have got mortgages on their houses. You know, that's the way of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have your mortgage so you can have your house, and so if you can afford to have a car and you need to borrow to get that car, then I don't fall out with that at all, because I just think, like I say, I don't want to be in my 70s driving a car like this and thinking, well, I could have had it earlier because I can afford to pay finance each month, or I can't, you know, just got to weigh it up.
Yes, most definitely. Stewie.
Welcome,
You're
mate.
top man.
No, I enjoyed it. It's
Top
good.
man.
And all these people looking at it is quite good fun.